Hey, welcome to the X1 Legion cast. It's me, Randy, with Mitchem. We're still missing our buddy Matt, though. He is on new baby dad duty still. Very important stuff, but that's okay because we got our buddy Preston here. How's it going, Preston?
Good. Just great value, Matt, I guess.
Great value, man. Wish.com, Matt.
Yeah, he'll love that.
Dollar Tree, Matt.
I mean, some say he's just like a suit I walk around in sometimes, so I just had to go get it cleaned.
There is a picture out there. There's one picture of all three of us. So
yes.
There is proof.
It's edited.
So
well, I paid Ethan to be sick that day, so he could wear the suit.
Some say it's AI generated. I don't know. I'm usually taller, so it could have been fake. Yeah, it could be fake. Yeah,
I'm all about the bit, so who knows, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, but yes, Preston was on an episode with us before. If you don't know, he's one of our Spice Bros, which is our lovingly named Yavin-based team. And but yeah, we're going to be talking about. So we're going to start going through the keyword changes now that we've gone through the objective deck stuff. So we're going to work our way through the rule book, see what rules have changed. We'll probably do half this episode and half the next episode. We'll see how this goes. I know no one wants to sit there and read the whole rule book. So we're going to do it for you. And we're going to be like, this is garbage. Let's move on. Or, hey, this is a thing. You might know this, okay? Because I did not. That's going to be the big revelation, I think. I didn't know this. And then Preston here, he plays mostly Empire, but also some droids. So we've got a collective here of how this might relate to all the factions. So
we have all 5 factions covered. Yes, I said 5. I said 5, Randy. 4.5, I guess.
Yes. The 4 main ones and the mercenary faction.
The mercenary.
Because Shadow Collective is a battle force. No, mercenary is a faction, right?
Oh, true. Okay,
but
true.
Shadow Collective battle force. AMG, give more Shadow Collective mercenaries, please. Okay, anyways.
I think one thing we're going to really... I mean, this is going to be a more technical episode, I think, than in the past. But we don't want to try to bore you to death with just reading straight from the rule book. So we're going to try to provide some unique insight, and we've all had plenty of games in. So I actually have won my last 2 games. So this is the best game ever. I'm Cloud 9 right now. So nothing is
What's
better.
Your winning streak now? 2?
It's 2. Yeah.
It's 2. Heck yeah.
2. That's all you need to know. Now, how many games it took me to get that? We don't need to talk about that. But hey, on top of the world right now. So, and I feel like every time I play, I'm still learning stuff. So, like, I learned about the transport keyword last night.
No.
I've never.
When we recorded with Reagan last episode, we were like, "Yeah, you can't transport that super squad." So I'm glad Matt called you out on your game.
I built that whole list specifically to transport that super squad of fleets.
Oh my God!
We'll talk about that later. And yeah,
we literally told you that you could.
I didn't do it in the game. I did not cheat. I ended up transporting one of my rebel trooper squads that killed some Wookiees. So, just for the record, Matt, I didn't cheat. And he knows. So it's all good.
Yes, he stopped you.
The bus is still good. So
good, Matt. Yes, bus good. We're kind of off the rails.
Yeah.
I know one thing that'll get us back on the rails. Some good old hobby harassment. Mitchem, I feel like I can't harass you. I feel like you need to start harassing me. To get my butt across the finish line.
Okay, fine. Let's start with you, Randy. What have you been doing? I'm turning the tables.
Oh, okay. Let me get the number. Small drum roll as I try to click at the place where I keep the number. Okay, we are at 38 out of 60 now. So I got a good amount done over the past week. I finished out that green and silver squad. So there's 4 of those. I got a nice family pic I'll throw up on Instagram. And then I'm also working on some of the Flashpoint Spartans. So here is the Mark 7 armor guy. He's looking pretty good.
That guy looks really good.
Yeah. I actually got to play a game of Oddball with Matt over the weekend. That's pretty fun. And yeah, I'm digging that game. working on the red one. He's got ways to go though. We'll see how that turns out. I primed the red, yellow, orange squad. I primed them white, and then the blue, green, black squad, I primed them black. So we'll see if they still look consistent.
That blue guy turned out really well. So
yeah.
he
From
looks
far
a lot-
away though, he just looks like he's primed all black. That's the only bad part. But yeah, up close, he looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm trucking along. Got plenty of black suns to keep filling out numbers, and then I'm gonna try and get through some more of these Spartans, and then also I glued together Nightcrawler from MCP. He's my favorite X-Man, so I'll probably try to get him painted. And yeah, I don't know. I got
all right, another cast in the future. I have
Yeah.
questions.
Okay.
Okay. Nightcrawler, really? Okay. We can turn that into a whole episode.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
MCP spinoff.
Yeah. No,
Well,
just the X-Men spinoff. I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about MCP. I just want to talk about
Okay.
I just want to talk about X-Men 97. So
I'm
let's
down,
be
yeah.
real.
I've been Nightcrawler, ride or die since I was a young lad. So
Okay.
yeah. So that's me. How's your stuff going? I noticed that you're still going, man. I'm cranking when we do our goals at the end of the year. I'm cranking that number way up. Apparently, these are rookie numbers. We gotta get them up.
Once I've kind of figured out a scheme that I like my army, and I kind of have my batch painting set of paints that I have, and it's just been easy to kind of like, okay, prime, slap it on, I'll knock out a whole squad in like a week, like a Saturday or something like that. So it's still been daunting for me to tackle vehicles. I built a bus a while ago. I even primed it, as you can see on my little paint desk right here. I'm working on adding some like mud details to the bottom of it, and I have a go by, which is going to be like the generic, just whatever AMG painted it as. So I'm going to do the red stripe and the black everywhere, and then some like mud details, and so just something like really basic, just to kind of. And I feel like that'll be a good way to get a vehicle under my belt, and then that'll make me feel better about doing the Saber tank.
I feel like if you look at most people with two buses, you look at their first bus and they're all like really close to the AMG version, and then the second one's way out there.
yeah, that's what I feel like is going to happen too if I get another one. I played it last night with Matt, and it was really fun. I mean, it's super hard for your opponent to deal with, just because I had the Gronk droid on it, so it's like shield, armor 5, and it's just like it really deters people from shooting at it, and it's just a wall. So that was really fun. I'm really gonna play with it more and see, and obviously learn the transfer keyword now that I know how to use it. So I've completely changed my list. But anyway, but part of my list is I built and painted little Han Solo here. So we'll put this up on Instagram for a better view. But yeah, he was really fun and easy to paint, kind of super generic Han on indoor. And then I also got my third captain squad up. So I have 3 DLT captains now. Nice. Captains going in all my rebel. I also got the DLT back there, so I'll throw that up on Instagram. But yeah, captains are going in all my rebel trooper squads. I think it's just stapled. That and situational awareness, just stapled. And I'm taking at least 2 to 3. 3 if I have Leia, I think 2 if I bring a rebel officer. So that's kind of, like I said, I've kind of found my template with rebels. I think that I can, my core, like, okay, this is where I start, and then I kind of go off from there. So it's been, I've been moving forward. The wheels haven't been spinning. It feels like I'm finally gaining some traction. So
the groove.
Yeah, I think I'm up to, I don't know what my exact number is. I think it's like 64 out of 62.
That's not bad.
More than, and I'm hoping to be well above that as well before the end of the year. So yeah, it's been fun. I've just really been enjoying painting. So I'm kind of at a level where I'm not the best painter, but like I'm not disappointed with my skills anymore like I used to be. Like I used to I'd finish a model and I'd be like, man, that looked really bad. But I just finished my Han, and I just finished my captain, and I'm like, okay, I could put that on the table. Like it's not going to win an award, but like it feels nice to have like a painted model that I did on the table. So
Oh yeah.
Can I ask you, do you feel like, I know we joke about it every episode, but do you feel like this challenge helped you? I know there's people who are always like, I paint 60 models in a weekend. You suck. There's always those people there and around us. It feels like all the time. But do you feel like it helped you? Did it feel like it motivated you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially those 2 weeks where I hadn't done anything
Mhm.
and I was really kind of getting hounded. It really kind of was like, oh man, you know what? I haven't painted in a while. I don't have anything going on. Like, let's just sit down and paint Han Solo tonight. Or I have IG-11 that I have based in. I got a couple layers of paint on, so let's just finish him up. And then it's like, oh, I could talk about this and hobby harassment. And it's been a slow process, but it feels like I've been buying more than I've been painting. But yeah, definitely it has helped. And in the past, when I played other war games, painting was never the top of my list. But now it's like, man, I really don't want to play anything that's not painted. I'm kind of getting to that point because more than 80% of everything I own for Rebels is painted and based. So if I don't have it painted and based, and it sticks out, and I'm like, ugh, that looks really bad.
I had prime models at the August tournament, and I felt naked.
You were talking about that the whole tournament too. You're like,
It's like,
oh, these guys just didn't have time to get. Yeah.
Don't see me.
But yes, I think setting a goal for yourself and being held accountable has really helped my skills, helped me batch paint and just kind of get down like, okay, this is the scheme I want for my entire army. And that I think has been the biggest thing. Okay, this Rebels is my indoor army. How do I make everything fit to that scheme? So when I buy a new model, I automatically know how I'm going to paint it, what colors I'm going to use. It's not going to be something super off the walls. And so that's really kind of helped me dial in the paints that I like and the way I'm going to paint it, which has helped me in turn crank out models faster because I already know what it's supposed to look like in the end. So,
Cool.
yeah.
You mentioned it briefly, but Preston, I know you finished those range troopers you had going. You had 2 squads of them, but that's just kind of tip of the iceberg.
Honestly, I haven't done like a crazy amount of hobbying, at least for me anyway. Like, you guys know how I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot since the last time you've been on. I know.
Yeah.
You got.
Yeah.
I know you did Bad Batch for Shatterpoint.
They're mostly done. I can show off a couple of them. So,
and Inferno Squad for Shadowpoint too.
Yeah, I've got Inferno Squad here too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's Rebecca.
Rebecca. Oh, that Omega looks really good.
Yeah. Who wants to focus?
I always do the hand behind the.
Yeah.
For some reason that helps sometimes.
It's like,
but there we go.
There it is. Yeah, you just got to hold super close.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks really good.
That looks good.
Yeah, we definitely got those up on the gram.
Yeah, I'll get better pictures. And then I've got
Tick. R.I.P.
Spoilers.
He's alive in our heart.
Okay, it's been like a year or more. Then you modified that base and added that console, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah,
that doesn't come on the base originally.
Yeah, the console is actually supposed to be like hunters jumping off it.
Yeah, that's right.
I should hide.
Yeah, that looks good.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, you got all those extra Legion objective markers now you can use for basing.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And then I'll show off. I'm actually like really proud of my Inferno Squad.
Yeah,
I love the basic job on that too. That looks really good with the log and everything.
Those are like branches from a dead tree that I ripped off outside and just painted over.
Way to use your environment. I get my logs from Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, you spend like $20 for.
Man, I need a gaming Star Wars lady. I feel like Mitchem's got his Ahsoka. Travis has got Sabine. Aiden's definitely.
You have Shak T.
Yeah, that's true. You got Shakti.
I need someone in the game though to actually play.
Oh, okay. Well,
Fennec Shand or somebody like that.
well,
Rook is. She's just an add-on.
She's just a little card.
Well, I mean, I guess you should just play Swoo then, Randy, if you want to actually play one of your characters. So.
I know, seriously. Sad.
My other real hobby thing, I think I showed you guys. I can send you pictures, Randy, to like share your screen or something. But I finally got the files for the Toka cloning station that War Scenery is doing, which is basically terrain, and so I've been basically laying that out in Blender and like trying to figure out, because I don't want to just be printing stuff willy nilly and just wasting a bunch of material. So that's basically where most of my hobby time has been.
Nice.
I'll be interested if you can find a layout that works for Legion and like vehicles to move around and stuff.
Yeah, I saw someone else on the big Discord, and like they still want to do like a water mat or whatever, but instead of making it like impassable, it's just difficult. So that like stuff with unhindered can still move around. Like dewbacks can swim and shit. So I think
that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
Everyone's doing a stinking table.
Don't worry, it's gonna be part of your goal next year, Mitchell.
Should I just DM it to you?
Yeah. You know what? I'll just throw it on Instagram.
Okay.
Later. Yeah. But yeah, if you're listening, just kind of picture the Camino, little island buildings there. But yeah, a little bit different.
Oh, that's what you're doing. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be perfect when Aqua Joys hit.
Pretty excited for that.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I can't wait to see that, how that's going to work out. So.
But that's pretty much been my hobby, harassment. Like
there you go.
Not a lot of stuff outside of 3D modeling.
Yeah, dude, I totally get it. When I was working on the Bespin table, it just felt like, even if there was time to paint minis, it's just like, I just try to throw it into the table right now. So you got to keep your sanity a bit.
I feel like minis are so much easier to paint than terrain. So
yes and no. Yeah, yes,
depending on
no.
the size, I guess.
Sometimes, and like how detailed it is, right? But
I feel like this is gonna be a pain in the ass to paint for sure.
Are you gonna do it like it's rain slick looking?
Maybe. I feel like I could get away with just like a satin / gloss varnish. Maybe just like do the whole thing with like a satin varnish so it looks metallic. Like do certain spots with like some gloss varnish so it looks like water's collected there. I feel like that's probably gonna be the easiest way to do it if I go that route.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I look forward to playing on that table and Mitchem's table next year.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Oh man, I hope you have a beautiful son. He's a gifted athlete.
Put that on me.
All right. Okay. We got a little bit of news we wanted to get into as well. AMG did some card reveals for Rebel Sleeper Cell and Imperial Riot Control. So we're just going to take a quick look at those and just get initial thoughts. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Mitchem loves his Roman Legion, so we can just kind of Emperor style decide on if it shall live or not. Rebel Sleeper Cell, 70 points. Comes with 6 minis in the squad, 1 health each. Suppressed on 2, surge attack, surge defend, nimble, scout 2, tactical, impact melee red, black and white melee suppressive, and 2 black, 1 to range 2 blasters. What do you guys think? I feel like this is kind of like Arcs light, Arcs not so great.
I definitely think when they were first announced and we were still in the old version of the rules, I think everyone was really down on these guys, especially and their upgrades kind of being. It just seemed like they were out of place, kind of. And then 260 came out, and it's like, oh wow, okay, these guys have Scout 2 and Tactical 1, so they get aim when they come on the table. Nice. There's 8 guys in the squad in a melee heavy meta right now. Their pistols, you can fire them in melee. Like, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Red, I mean, you can throw 8 red or 7 red because the droid's non-combatant. But yeah, range 2 doesn't feel as bad anymore because everything's going to be in range 2. So
Yeah,
courage 2. I'm sold. I got lists with 3 of them. So
Yeah, I think the biggest bummer for me is back when they were first announced is like, oh, these guys are going to be like have sweet objective tricks.
yeah,
And I guess he kind of does. Like he gives you a dodge, which they will need
sure.
with the white saves. Like they're going to want. Do they generate one on their own?
No, they don't.
No, they have tactical. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh,
So they to take full advantage of that nimble, they need to be within. But I mean, I think these guys are going to want to play the higher POI numbers. So like recover the research, shifting objective, and you want to spread them out. So each one's going to want to secure or capture or contest one on their own, and they're going to be hard to move off, kind of. But they're definitely going to want to be by POIs, 100%.
Yeah. And I guess if you're playing more, if you're on that outer edge, shifting priorities one, that's when this marksman can shoot something, I guess, if there's nothing else. But 28 points is a lot.
That's a lot for a 25% chance to do a wound.
But hey, honestly, all the other snipers are about 30 points for a 25% chance to do a wound.
Sure.
It feels like.
I mean, this just feels like you're bringing 28 points for an extra body almost at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know
basically.
when you're going to ever use that action. I mean, you're bringing 20. It's 33 points for 2 extra wounds and a dodge when you're within range 1, effectively. So you're going to be 8 wounds for 100 and something points.
Yeah.
125 points ish or something. So I don't know. I mean, arc lights make sense. Arcs are still way better. Sure, they're less wounds, but they're a lot more survivable. Surging red saves is way better than a dodge surging white. So
yeah. Also, just the moving in to shoot and then being able to charge in to hide in melee is just.
Yeah,
I think
it's so good.
Like I think that makes them way more survivable.
So good.
More than the red saves do. But
it'll be interesting to see what kind of upgrades people start putting on this. I definitely think recon intel should be stapled to these guys to give them Scout 3.
I wonder offensive push might be worth it. Get the double aims.
Maybe tactical might not be. Oh, not tactical. I'm sorry. Tenacity wouldn't work on them.
I could see you doing like if you do like O push. Well, if you're using recon intel, never mind. Gear slot's safe.
I mean, you probably just want to bring situation awareness when you get that dodge.
Yeah, that's true.
Dodge crits, and then recon intel, and then maybe emergency transponders to get another dodge when you don't give them an order. I mean, these guys don't really need orders, so
yeah,
I don't know.
Seem like
it'll be interesting.
I'm worried, or not worried. I'm just concerned, I guess, about Commando's place in Rebels. I think they're gonna probably get a big change too. I wonder if we're gonna see them move towards kind of what like range troopers do. Like maybe they just become like a range 4 special forces type unit,
like a death trooper kind of thing.
Not like range troopers.
Oh, range troopers.
Oh well, yeah, I guess death troopers
too.
Yeah, because range troopers are supports. parts. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's yeah. I mean, especially with these guys.
I just feel like the special forces slot and rebels are all kind of eating each other's lunch right now.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Because like with them, I don't know why you bring any of the other special forces option other than maybe Wookiees. But
Yeah,
I don't,
Wookiees are bad.
But I mean, this is 8 wounds too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, Wookiees are 12 wounds.
Yeah.
They're 9 base,
Yeah.
12, and I think they're cheaper 12.
I guess I'd have to look the math on with the dodge and surge defend on the attrition on that.
Black range 2 instead of black white.
Yeah,
pistol
they
shot,
do shoot better.
That's pretty better.
For sure.
And surge. So
Okay, well, we will look forward to those. I think Mitchem's definitely going to try them out in some lists.
Definitely.
Preston, are you going to try these guys out? Some Riot Control Squad?
I think so. I don't think they're really going to be like outright replacements for any of the core Empire already has, but I could see you splashing like 1 or 2 in as kind of linebacker units.
Yeah. So I'll go through the card real quick. They're 50 points. They're core. You get 4 base. They got red defense, 1 wound, 1 suppression. They have black and melee that's suppressive. And they have the charge keyword and the new keyword, hold the line. They get surge hit and surge defend in when they're engaged in melee. Engage. So if they're in melee with a vehicle, does that count then now?
Can you be engaged with the vehicle?
Yeah, a vehicle cannot be engaged.
Yeah, so when you're touching them, you're just melee. It's called
you
being
can
in
melee them.
Okay, it's not called being engaged. Okay,
yeah,
I was
being
just
engaged. Yeah,
not sure on the language there. And then there's
we'll cover that later this episode.
the Stormtrooper Marksman. He's the Empire counterpart to the Sleeper Cell one.
It's weird that this one has 2 more points than the Rebel Sleeper Cell one.
I guess.
I don't know why.
Save, I guess.
Well,
yeah, it's
the
trash.
sniper though. The sniper on the Rebel one was 28. This one's 30, and it's the same exact card. I just don't understand that.
His 1 health is more precious.
I guess so, but it's a red surging save. So,
and then here's 30 points, another 30-point upgrade, but you're getting 2 of the security droids.
Yeah,
and they have the same blaster profile as the base card. The sniper, don't know if you take that one. I feel like the security droids you're taking if you're bringing these guys. I think you absolutely
take the security droids. I don't think you ever take the marksman. Because like we were talking in Discord, it's like, oh, you can shoot them because it's not an attack, and because they're, it's not an attack, or it's not a ranged attack, so you can do it while you're engaged. And then it's like literally the first line is, if you're not engaged, so I'm an idiot. So I was like, yeah, this thing sucks.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to fit the theme of what this unit is doing or wants to do.
The impact 1 on the security guard, that doesn't stack, right?
It does.
Oh, so it's impact for each one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's impact 2. Okay.
So 30 points for 2 models is better.
So these guys are 6 wounds, surging defense. Yeah.
Which is probably why you can't throw grenades on them.
Yeah.
Because then you'd have a charging impact 6.
Dude, think about that.
That would be rough.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I could see Empire lists bringing these guys, and you just need some guys to throw at Anakin to like kill these guys for a little bit.
I think if you want to, I forget who brought it up. It might have been Travis. He had a good point. If you do want to fill the second heavy slot, then I think Gideon Hask is a good call, because he's around the same point cost as the marksman, but he bumps their courage up by 1 and also gives you coordinate to another core trooper.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That seems like much better. I think he's like 32, 33.
That's not much more.
I think Del Mico's 29, so if you want a sniper, you can get Del Mico.
How does it work when you have? Can I repair this unit? Since if you have 2 droids in it.
I don't think so because
Okay.
their unit card says just troopers. So I think
Okay,
only
okay.
medbots. But I think you could actually bring back a droid with a medbot if that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
You know.
Yep. Yeah. It's going to be weird one way or the other.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I feel like more people are sold on Sleeper Cell than these riot control guys, but again, we'll see once they hit the table. I'm sure someone will find some sweet cracked tech for both. Cool. Well, let's get into some of these rules changes here, guys. If everyone will open the text to
Open your
page 5,
textbook.
we will begin the reading. Yeah, so basically, if it's blue, we will bring it up. Whether we talk about it a lot, we'll see. We just got through 3 episodes on primaries, secondaries, and advantages, and we talked a bit about the deployment keywords, so that's stuff we probably won't get too much into, but definitely go give those a listen. I think they have good stuff in them. All right. So first thing we see is overlapping objectives. Anything big here, terrain can be placed resting on top of other terrain, but cannot be placed resting on top of tokens or miniatures. Tokens that are on the battlefield can be placed resting on top of terrain and other tokens, but cannot be placed resting on top of miniatures. Miniatures can be placed resting on top of both tokens and terrain, but cannot be placed resting on top of each other. Can you put guys on top of POIs? I didn't think so, right? Because they are...
POIs are separate. There's like a separate text in there.
They're not a token. Okay.
Yeah, they're not a token. That is a point of interest.
Okay.
It's also a great blog you should check out as well. Reagan that we had on last week. You're welcome, Reagan. That was a great segue. No, but POIs are...
Hey, if you call it a great segue, it's not a great segue.
Well, shoot. I'm sorry, Reagan. I just ruined it. So, no, their POIs are a separate definition. So I don't think they can have anybody on top of them. They can't have... These tokens are just talking about like asset tokens or bomb tokens, poison tokens, stuff like that. I think this just really kind of clarifies the hierarchy of, okay, so the battlefield is level 0, and then terrain goes on the battlefield, and then tokens go on the battlefield, and then minis go on the battlefield. And so it just kind of, nothing really new here, just some clarification, just making life easier for us and stuff like that. So,
yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, my first thought was, so in shifting priorities, can I put a POI on top of another POI? But yes, POIs get defined further later on. Okay, moving on. Let's see. Card anatomy. We've all looked at cards before, but there was, I believe, they added the subtitle call out, and I feel like this was just to fix the hunter issue with the hunter upgrade and hunter being a unit. So subtitle, the upgrade subtitle if it has one, an upgrade subtitle separated from its card title by a comma. Rules may reference an upgrade by its subtitle. So,
I didn't even think about that. So you're talking about Hunter the clone and Hunter
the
upgrade.
Yeah.
I didn't even. Okay, that makes sense. Sure, another clarification. So.
Because I think there was a thing where it's like, oh yeah, if you take Hunter the clone, you can't take the Hunter upgrade because he had the unique dot or something like that.
Yeah, I remember it was kind of the same thing with Clone Commandos and that jazz. I think when they updated the unique
and Delta Squad being Clone Commandos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Echo and Echo.
Yeah.
One thing Arcs or thing clones only, then one thing Bad Batch only.
Yeah, that's why they added the something marksman or whatever on his title, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along to page 11. There's talks about tokens here. Big thing is there is a POI token now. We know them, love them. We use them a lot. Asset tokens. These are the old objective tokens. They're called asset tokens now. And then the old condition tokens are the advantage tokens. Yeah, pretty straightforward there. For measuring, we have the new beloved by some, maligned by others, half range tool that's been added. Do you guys think when the official one comes out, it's just going to be a stick? Or do you think it'll jam into the other range tools, or they'll just do range tools that have like half marks?
I think it's going to be that one that was in that.
I think it'll be a plastic stick. Yeah.
What was that one
Anything.
that was in that Paco's Wild Ride or the Dagobah?
Yeah,
box?
the cardboard one.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The cardboard one. I think it's just going to be that, but plastic. I mean,
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd love a stick. I think that would be great. That would help deployment really well, and placing POIs, that would help stuff like that. But for the most part, it hasn't been. I think what I've seen, I think Travis did this as well, is he measured out one of his old range sticks and literally just cut it in half, like exactly at the 3-inch mark, and just so he has a stick with that he could stick into his other range stick, and I think that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. So you'd have to check with your TO to make sure it was okay first, but I don't know if a TO would have any problem with that. So whatever helps speed the game along, as I say, is good. So.
Yep, we're just all doing the best we can.
And plus, they say right there in the rules that it's 3 inches, so you could go out and measure something that's exactly 3 inches and still be okay.
So, oh yeah.
So I'll always have a half range tool on me.
Yep. There's the picture. It definitely just looks like the one from that dynamic exit OP kit or whatever.
Yep.
Undeployed units. My spreadsheet auto-corrected it to unemployed units for some reason. Same diff, right? If a unit is not on the battlefield because it is not yet deployed this game, it is undeployed. An undeployed unit is within any distance and in line of sight of each friendly undeployed unit and is beyond any distance and not an LOS of each enemy unit and each unit on the battlefield. This comes up for me for aiding with pikes, capos, and vigos, and then also when I activate the bus, if I've got tactician, I try to throw those. I'm throwing those aims out before I go out. Is there any other undeployed tricks you guys are having to pay attention to as far as token sharing or something else?
It's a big nerf to Remnant.
Oh right, yeah, I remember talking about that. It's both within range 2 and beyond range 2.
Yeah.
Because they made a forum ruling on that, right?
Right, yeah. Because I think I went and asked and someone else asked, and so they kind of applied it. So it's like you're at any range simultaneously. You can't just be like, oh, hey, this one's here, and then this one's here.
So turn 1, you don't get any of your remnant stuff, basically.
Yeah, so the only way you can get independent on turn 1 now is if you have, like, short troopers or you have stuff with, prepared position that deploy on the battlefield.
Yeah.
But other than that, the stuff that's actually good, the death troopers and everything, and the dark troopers that want the free tokens, no, they don't get that.
I think the only other thing would be courage bubbles. So if you have your commander off the table, which we've briefly kind of talked about this last episode with Annihilation Looms, if you have a commander off the table and one of your units gets panicked or has suppression on it and it's equal to their courage value, then it's panic. So I think that's the only other thing that I've had come up playing Rebels. Gar, there's not a whole lot. Sure, they can clone share.
I feel like the biggest issue I see people running into there is with Yoda. Is it the Luminous one where he shares tokens? It's when to bring him on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't want to throw them out there too early.
And they deploy to the other side of the map or something. And,
so that's the only tricky. I know Matt's been running into issues playing Yoda, and I mean Yoda's already big brand already, so just to make him even harder.
Because I think the problem is if you don't Luminous turn 1, it like kind of screws up the card order, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a Yoda aficionado.
Yeah, because you really want to be playing as 1 pip and 2 pip when you're getting into the nitty gritty, which is turns 2 and 3. So if you're playing Luminous Beings on turn 2, then it kind of sets back your whole dive a whole turn, and you lost a turn. So, yeah.
It's rough.
Yep.
All right, cool. Make sure you get those units deployed round 1. There's only 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Barricades.
This is a big one.
They are pretty much the same, except they are now open terrain. I did not realize this, and
I was still playing them as difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, making sure I didn't like slow my own movement, but yes, they are like POIs. You can just move right through them.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys are taking advantage of that if you happen to grab
Fortified positions.
Fortified positions, yes.
Fortified positions, yeah. I was just thinking that. I was like, let's make that one a little bit better.
Yeah, still no advanced intel, but
yeah, I feel like that one's going to be like a tough one to like unlearn for a while. I haven't
Yeah.
really had it come up a lot, but
I mean, yeah, barricades hadn't changed in a long time.
Yeah.
But hey, it's one of your old Legion pieces you can still use if you were one of the people that actually painted your barricades. I might go paint 3 of mine. Okay.
I got 3 of them you can have, Randy. Don't worry.
I mean, I have them. I just need to prime and paint them. Maybe I'll make them themed to whatever army I'm playing.
There you go.
Oh, did I miss something here on setup? No, barricades.
So.
Okay. Right. Okay, here we go. Setup. Okay. So setup goes pretty much the same for the first half, and then it just changes. So all your building army stuff, declaring terrain, placing terrain. Then the first thing you have to do is determining the blue player. I do not like this. I do not like that it is 5 black dice. You don't want to get all your stuff out until after you determine which side of the table you're playing on. And cards is one thing, but having to go dig your dice out is always kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Rolling and then immediately picking them back up and then doing this. And I wish look, do you see this? It's an elegant chance cube. Let's just roll this, people. Let's just roll this.
You're still rolling die. This is it's still better than having a bid system.
I agree.
The bid system was getting out of hand. I understand your frustration when you only have 2.5 hours to get everything in, and this is something that's very minute that slows down the game, especially in competitive play, and you need all that time to set up and get through round 1 so you can get all 5 turns in because you need all 5 turns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. But this is better.
Yeah, the added bookkeeping step here has just been a little bit bogged down, I feel like. So I'm sure hopefully AMG and I'm sure the community will kick in to find ways to speed this up though over time. Yeah. Build the mission. We've talked about the cards, but I'm sure if you're listening, you know the gist of it. One player flips a primary, one flips a secondary. Blue gets to choose which they do, and then you both do advantage, and then there is 2 bans for each. And then I think the other main point I saw in here is if you ever have to flip from a deck that is empty, you shuffle your cards and then flip a new one. So it's never like, oh, I guess we don't have an advantage or a secondary to play this round. So
yeah,
nothing like that.
Important to note here too, I would assume that things like bounty would resolve after you build the mission. So when it says resolve setup effects, so things like bounty, and I think cats, like divulging and like cats bombs. So all those things happen before you do prepare positions. Am I wrong in assuming that?
I think divulging still happens at the command.
Okay, that
right.
makes sense. So bounty would happen before prepared positions, which I don't know why that would matter.
I think it depends on the divulge thing. I think with CADs, you divulge it at the deploy unit step. Or you
okay.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. If someone wants to look and see what the card says now, I'd be interested to know.
I think it did actually.
I'm sure
get
someone in
updated.
our audience will tell us that we're totally wrong.
So yeah, that's the big difference is you got to pick your bounty before they're even on the table, which I think is a bit of a nerf for the obvious reasons. But
yeah, but bounty as a whole kind of got nerfed. So
Yeah.
well, it got a little boost, right? You don't have to survive anymore.
yes, it did. It got a boost and then went back down. But,
pretty balanced.
Yeah. He got a new card.
Yeah, I think it got updated. But I think that it was just mainly to change the bomb.
Yeah, divulge, resolve, setup, effect, step. That's what divulge is.
Resolve. Okay, yeah.
So that's when you would divulge it.
Okay.
So there might be a handful.
Before prepared positions. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Does Vader's divulge card that too? Yeah. His divulge. So it's divulge, resolve, setup, effect, step. So yeah. So it seems like divulging is doing that as well.
Okay.
So,
and I guess it works that way too, because it seems like all those cards come back to your hand now.
Yeah, most of them.
Instead of getting discarded. Yeah. Okay. New upgrade cards. Squad leader. This is the special date for the the Republic dance. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. They probably all need to be more points, if you ask me. But
they're pretty expensive. But I
think it's a thematic upgrade.
Oh, 100%. I mean, because clones already had the most like upgrades you can bring already, and so when you're just limited to a personnel and a heavy weapon, and then you have all these named clones that we all know from the TV show, like Fives and Boyle and Heavy and Echo and all that stuff. Like, so it's like, okay, do I bring Fives or do I bring a medic and then a heavy weapon? Well, now you can bring all three. So it does make your individual clone infantry units a lot more expensive. But yeah, it's thematic. And it really, again, it's really leaning in towards that faction identity that IMG is really pushing. And they want clones to be the elitist, highly specialized army. And having the squad makes sense.
I am so down for that, as long as they're costed that way.
Sure. Yeah.
And really, I think most of them are pretty good. I just think arcs and commandos are a little too cheap. Though I feel like all the factions are going to wind up with that cheaper support unit that's pretty good.
Well, the squad leaders are only in the core units, so I mean, really? I know you're just hating on cars as principle, but I have to bring balance to the cast. I'm the chosen. Hey, Matt's not here. I'm outnumbered. Okay, I got a Shadow Collective player and I got an Empire player across the table. I'm the only one fighting the good fight over here. So
don't be mad that we're playing. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, from a certain point of view.
From my point of view, deal with it. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. Is this the slot for this isn't the double squad, right?
That's personnel.
That's the personnel slot.
Yeah, it's personnel.
So this is just like
these are all the captains, old like unit leaders that you can bring.
all the named personnels that had
all the named ones, and then
upgrade,
like the
leader keyword.
Clone commander, clone captain, Echo Fives, Boyle, all those guys. And then you can still bring like a clone specialist, which is personnel, a clone medic, clone engineer. Like those guys are personnel. And then like the super squads as well too. So, and then the heavy weapons. So yeah.
I'll be interested to see if this makes its way to the other factions. I feel like it makes sense in Empire a lot as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? It's good. Gives them more options for building units. And I think that was probably a lot of the reason for the changes in this rule set in particular was to give them some more design space going forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Stuff. So
100%. Giving the player more options is always good, in my opinion.
Yeah, some more options. Good. They noted here on the grenade upgrade, Only one miniature may use the weapon on a grenade upgrade card per attack sequence. So if you were taking frags on your double snowtrooper squad, you cannot double move, steady throw 12 red dice at someone with your flamethrower.
Thank God.
Hey, man, I used to like taking them with the pike whip unit and throw 7 surge crit dice whenever they actually made it into range 1, which wasn't very often, but man, when it happened, it was sweet. Super sweet. Yeah, I don't anything noteworthy there on their grenades. I feel like a lot of people are bringing impact, which makes sense there. They didn't want you to get up to impact 32
Right.
with that thing, or
I think that's the only grenade that got like a new card.
right.
So, and then most of the other stuff wasn't giving you like a numbered keyword anyway. Like they would just give you blast or surge crit or that kind of stuff, just modifying your attack pool. So it makes sense that you're only throwing one most of the time anyway, unless it was like a better dice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We've got a new exhaust iconography here. I'm not sure what this accomplishes other than maybe for just card design changes, I guess.
Sure.
Makes it a little smaller, probably to fit in the little weapon slot or ability slot on cards, I guess.
Probably just kind of like a reminder to let you know that like whatever you're doing also taps your upgrade card.
Yeah. Building a battle deck. We've covered a battle deck quite a bit. But, before we go too much further...
Oh, crap.
It's time for our Legion Key Quiz. And I hope you guys were paying attention to that last page, because this time we're going to be talking about new Commander Luke.
Oh, man.
All right, it's been a great podcast. I'll see you guys later.
You know what? I'm pretty sure I sat there and stared at that card the whole time we were talking about, and I don't remember reading one word off of it. So
that's great. So yes, so this is where I interrogate the other hosts for the episode on a unit card. Last episode we tried it out with old Commander Vader card, but now we're gonna get into some of the new cards, and we're gonna kick it off with Commander Luke here. Now, Preston, you just help out where you can. You're not a rebel player. You're normally just eating it from the other side or killing it from the other side. I don't know. But Mitchem, I'm sure he's got this card like tattooed in his brain. But
he actually put it over his Ahsoka tattoo, I heard.
Ooh.
Okay. If it was Leia, maybe, but
he's got it scheduled. Okay. So there are 6 keywords on the card, not including his weapon. Kick it off, Mitchem.
Okay, so he has charge.
He does have charge.
Obviously. Immune Pierce, we're not going to miss that one like we did last time.
Mm-hmm.
He has deflect.
He does not have
No, he
deflect.
has block. He has block.
Yes, I wish he had deflect still, but
he has block.
Block's not terrible.
So there's 3. He did get exemplar. That's new.
He does not have exemplar.
Okay, never mind. He has inspire 2?
Yes, inspire 2. Inspire 2.
Okay.
2 more.
That's 4.
Got any guesses, Preston?
I can really use your help, Preston.
Well, to be fair, I'm looking at the card right now, so.
Oh, okay.
I'm just here to roast Mitchem.
Okay.
It's like, I could not care less about Commander Luke, so I'm just...
So there's another, like, obvious Jedi one that a lot of the Jedi have.
He has Master of the Force?
No, maybe not that obvious.
Oh, God. No, that's on his weapon. He has jump.
Yes, jump
1. Okay, so that's 5. So the last one is a new one, I think. It's not exemplar. It's not disengage.
It helps him with his attacking. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Jedi Hunter?
No.
No,
Guess you're not as sharp as you thought you were.
Yes.
Nope.
Sharpshooter 1 is what we were looking for.
Yeah, sharpshooter. What? What?
He's got that sick new pistol, man.
Oh, that's right. He did get a new pistol. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yes. Bonus points. Can you tell me what his pistol does now?
I'll be impressed if he
What it
gets
does
honestly.
now? Is
Yeah,
it
like
Pierce,
what keywords are on the gun?
Is
Yep.
it Pierce 1?
Yes.
How many are there? How many keywords are there?
One more. And
Is
more bonus points if you can tell me the dice pool.
Is it versatile?
Nope. That'd be sick if it was versatile.
That would be sick. It's a critical.
He's search crit naturally.
Oh, okay.
Attacking.
It's Pierce 1. Is it suppressive?
No. I think this one would have been a long shot for you, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Is it 2 red, 2 black?
1 red, 3 black.
Oh, that is okay.
But it's
That's
4
good.
dice.
Yeah. So 4 dice.
It's a
okay.
good pistol.
What's his lightsaber?
2 red, 3 black. Impact 2, Pierce 1.
So, okay. So the gun is 1 red, 3 black, and his lightsaber is 2 red, 3 black.
Yeah. So maybe tenacity bring on him. You could also make the case that Son of Skywalker, you shoot the pistol twice. Like it wouldn't be completely terrible.
Or, yeah, definitely.
Or if you melee kill someone, it wouldn't hurt as bad to have to shoot somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he doesn't have Exemplar?
He does not have Exemplar.
Man, okay.
Man, Sister does though.
That'd be crazy if he had Exemplar.
Yeah. Inspire 2 is still really nice though.
Yes, definitely.
That keyword has been
Rebels need that
yes.
suppression removal for sure.
OP.
Yeah, very cool.
All right. 0 for 2.
If you guys enjoyed me grilling Mitchem right there, hit us with comments on cards I should quiz him about next time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about any other factions. I don't even know anything about Rebels. So clearly, all cards on the table.
Well, it's going to be really fun when it's you and Matt in the future. And I'm like, hey, guys, here's the droid question of the week.
Oh, God. Yeah. No, it'll be even worse when it's what's on Anakin's new card?
This is the kind of the whole point of it is, to learn some more about cards and factions you don't play. Help you out when you're staring at them across the table. Because Lord knows I'm just like, hey, if you say it does that, man, I believe you. Because I have no idea. Okay, let's get back into these changes here. A sweet dice roll to determine blue player. That is one of your options when building the deck, though, is that you can choose to take blue player.
Yeah. I think you have six options. So either you choose a new priority, you choose a new secondary, you choose your new advantage, you force your opponent to flip an advantage. You can take blue player or you can pass. So those are your 6 options. And you get to do those twice. It's one of those twice.
Absolutely. And then we touched on the empty deck, shuffling back in. And then going further here into resolving your setup effects, tokens.
So here's the placing objectives. It's more in depth like we were talking about earlier. And then the POI definitions about how you can't place. See, miniatures, advantages, and other objective tokens cannot overlap or be overlapped by a POI. So even though they're defined as a token and tokens can overlap each other, POIs are like separate.
They're like a subcategory.
So just keep that in mind. You can bring your own POIs and they can be, up to 2 inches tall. I think I saw. That's how high. Yeah. Oh no, 2 inches base, and then it's the big silhouette. So
I think it's Is it a big silhouette? I think it's just a half range tall.
Oh, that's what it is. Half inch. So it's 3 inches tall max.
So
Yeah.
2-inch diameter.
But it doesn't block line of sight. It does provide heavy cover, but you can still see through it no problem. So it's weird because like you pretend it's not there, but it gives you cover, but you can't stand on top of it. So yeah.
Yeah. A little odd, but I think we're all adjusting.
Yeah.
Contesting tokens, half range, claiming asset tokens. The battle card tells you. I don't think I've seen one where it's not a free action to claim. Have you guys noticed that? Okay.
No, I think they changed. One thing I learned on this is that the asset tokens are not placed on the table until the unit holding them is killed, and then it is dropped a half range away from the unit leader that was killed. So you have a little bit more.
Placed by who?
It's placed by the person that controlled the unit that was killed.
Oh yeah, right there in the top right. When a unit drops an asset token, it's holding.
Yeah.
Half range.
Yeah, so they stay off the table. Usually I put them on the unit card that they belong to, of the unit that they belong to. And then if that unit is killed, before you remove the unit leader, you place your asset token within a half range of the unit leader. And then so that way, so it's not like old recover the supplies where the box snaps to the unit leader base, or like bomb tokens. It's not part of the unit. So they're off the table, and I like that because it really kind of keeps a clean board state, which is very important
there's already
in Legion.
Tons of clutter happening already,
and especially now, there's a lot more tokens being thrown out on the table and pass tokens and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind that you place a token, and then your opponent has to be within a half range of it to claim it. So you do have a little bit of a choice, and to kind of keep it safe. And you can put it within a half range of another one of your units, hopefully, and they can claim it on their turn. So
you don't have to be in base contact to pick it up anymore.
Yes, which I definitely did not know my first few games. And I was still running around with the tokens.
Me too. Yep.
Touching the units. So
yeah, I was absolutely playing it that way at the tournament. So
Yep.
Winning the game. End of the round, player has 12 or more victory points and has more than the other guy. You can table somebody to win the game, and then at the end of the 5th round, if you just have more than the other guy, you win. I believe if you are tied on VPs at the end, you go to kill points, I believe.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, you go to kill points.
Yeah,
you tie there.
Check for winning at the end of a round. So during the end step. So if someone gets to 12 during the round,
yes, even if a card tells you to score immediately, you don't win.
Yeah, you keep scoring until the end phase, and you check. That's the last thing you do at the end step, which we'll get to, is you check to see who won. So even if you think you're not going to win, keep fighting, because there might still be a chance we can pull out a 13-12 victory or something like that.
They did a cute little change of 6 to 5 here for the number of rounds you're playing.
Basically 4, because you're spending the whole first round deploying.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then creating the pass pool. So main thing to note here is that passes are now determined based on number of units, not activations, which Dark Troopers enjoy. And also you don't start getting them until you have a -2 deficit against your opponent. So if you
it is the number of units, not the number of activations?
Yes. Number of units.
Okay. I wrote that wrong in the little in the spreadsheet, so
good thing I ignored it.
Yeah, good thing you did.
Okay. And again, advanced intel, we talked about how good that is, especially if you wind up with one and you've got more units than the other guy. It's just can be a little crushing.
Yeah.
But yeah, passing is good. I wonder if I could see that getting changed before the official release.
Like advanced
intel
release.
Yeah. Like, I wonder if it just like you reduced the amount of pass tokens your opponent had instead by 1.
Or if you are creating a pass token, you can add 1 more. So you have to be able to create the pass token.
Or your units count as 1 less.
Yeah. Huh. That'd really kind of nerf it to the ground, but
Yeah. I mean, it would probably bring it into line with a lot of the other ones.
yeah, that's
power
true.
wise.
That's true.
Okay, resolving command card effects. Player with priority, starting with priority. That's
just because you can take blue player in the build the mission step. That's why they just changed that wording.
Okay. So no, all the blue and red mentions got changed there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, nominating commanders and issuing orders.
I think the biggest thing from that is issuing orders is infinite range now.
Yes.
But you can, if you're off the table, if you're undeployed, you cannot issue an order to a unit that is deployed, and vice versa.
Well, I think you can. If your commander is undeployed, you can issue orders to deploy units because it's infinite range.
Interesting.
Oh,
but you can't do it I guess technically you can do it the other way around because it's infinite range.
I thought there was something that said that. You're right, yeah, because there's no restriction.
Yeah, in fact, the only thing that has a restriction now is Remnant.
Yeah, that's right, because there is no line of sight or range check for it.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, yeah, because that
probably a situation that won't come up very often, but we discussed the pass pool. Choosing unit to activate or pass. So when a player passes, they do not activate a unit in their turn. And so a player draws an order token with a rank that does not have any corresponding undefendedly treated units that do not have an order token. Remove that token from the game. That's pretty much the same. Then that player may pass. So this is pretty big change.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good one. When you start around and then you have 3 units get obliterated off the board, it can get a lot worse if you then just have to, I guess I have to activate all my good stuff 3 activations early. So I haven't run into it too often. And a lot of times people still want to go anyways because they're trying to get things to activate before they lose the next thing. But that is an option available to you. If they do not pass and still have units to activate, they must choose to either activate a friendly unit with a face-up order token or to draw another order token randomly from the order pool. That's pretty much the same. Is that an option change there, though? Before you had to draw another token, right? If you were drawing. But now it's saying you could choose to switch back and go for a face-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because you must choose either or. So.
And then, so here it says, so if you have pass tokens, you can't pass 2 rounds in a row.
That was my understanding too. I did not know that.
So if you pass off of a dead unit, can you still use a pass token the next round? The way it reads is that it's just if you pass at all. It doesn't say pass token. So I'm guessing.
I would assume that you cannot pass 2 times in a row. That's what that's saying.
Regardless of how you
do it. If you did not pass, it doesn't matter how you passed on the previous turn this round.
Right.
Unless you have nothing to activate.
Yeah.
Then you have to pass.
Yeah, then you have to pass. Yeah. Okay. So no passing 2 times in a row. Interesting.
All right. Unit cohesion. It looks like the main thing here is that it is half range instead of the speed 1 move tool, which is a small difference, like a millimeter or 2.
Yeah. Not much.
They used to have to have line of sight.
Yes, I don't know that I've been doing that right. Each miniature must have line of sight. People have definitely been putting dudes on the other side of corners and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is kind of wild too for sniper squads. Right?
That sucks for sniper squads. Because that was the whole thing. You hide one guy behind the corner to get cover, and then you stick the sniper out to shoot.
Oh man,
That's new. Everything else is the same. I have not been doing that at all. Wow. Okay.
yep.
This is why we do this for you guys.
Yeah, we even read through this ahead of time to like try to have some thoughts, and I missed that completely.
I missed that too. Everything else about that is the same, but LOS.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, it probably doesn't come up too much, but yeah, strike teams, I feel like that's where it definitely can happen.
Yeah.
This is a whole other episode, but I've been out on strike teams in 260 since I played my first game.
Well, it's definitely something you have to be cognizant about if you're trying to like minimize the wound threshold by hiding people.
Right. You can't hide them from yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay. Good to know.
Huh.
I think that also can come up sometimes too when you're trying to. There's only so much room for this unit, so I'll stick this guy over here.
Yeah.
Or like on the other side of this box or something. So yeah, be careful about that.
Sticking a unit leader out around the corner with a heavy to try to get like a heavy shot, and then sticking everybody else behind. Like, no, you can't do that anymore.
Yep.
So.
Deploying units. When an undeployed unit performs a move, it deploys. When a unit deploys in this way, measure the start of the move tool with both prongs of one end of the movement tool touching the portion of the edge of the battlefield within friendly territory. When a unit deploys, the unit leader measures the vertical distance change during the move, starting from the portion of the edge of the battlefield the movement tool is touching. When an undeployed unit activates, it must deploy and may not perform any action that is not a move until it deploys. Only undeployed units can deploy. So main thing there is making sure you have that first section of your move tool touching the board edge straight on, and then you can then move the other end around.
And it clearly, I saw this post on Facebook or Reddit, but someone was asking if they could, really kind of clearly defining what the board edge was.
Yeah, I think I saw that too.
That is like literally the 6x3 6x3 table edge. So there's 4 board edges that you come in on within friendly territory. It doesn't mean you put it at the edge of friendly territory and then deploy on. Like, those don't count as board edges. So just a minor thing.
Continuing on with moves here. So they have changed the way movement works a bit. Your move tool still needs to be within the divot of the move tool when against a miniature, but when you move them, pick them up and move them to the other end, they just need to touch one of the prongs. They don't have to be fully in the recess. Just at the beginning of the movement, not at the end of the movement.
It can also, it's any portion of the movement. So you can technically touch the prongs to get a little extra movement. As long as you're touching at all, you're good.
Yeah, it's a range. A range 1 is 6 inches, and now you can get a speed 1 or speed 2 and range 1 stick are almost identical, because before it was like slightly short, including the size of the base, but now it's like almost the same.
Yeah, you can clear range band.
Trick to help you when you're moving. So
I think this makes it a little less finicky too, playing around terrain. Like you don't, I need to make enough room here to fit the mini when it's fitting in that recess. Now you can just.
Also, that picture in the bottom right looks like a half range range stick, by the way.
Oh, you're totally right.
That is definitely
that might be it.
That is a half range stick right there. So
pretend the earlier discussion did.
So cute.
Yeah, I like it.
Say it.
Just a little nubbin. Notch-based movement. The player may rotate the unit leader's base up to 90 degrees to the left or right, keeping the center of the base in the same place. So basically, everyone's got a free rotate now.
Unless you're a repulsor vehicle, then it ignores that step. Or speeder. Repulsor vehicle.
Speeder keyword, yeah.
Speeder keyword ignores that step. So,
did the bus and the other things lose their reposition keyword?
Bus still has reposition.
No.
Okay. So it gets this free 90-degree turn, and then it can reposition at the end of its movement.
Correct.
Too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could pivot up to
Oh
180
man,
degrees.
if only I could overrun displace people still.
They made it so easy for you.
Yeah, you're just like
I'd be doing donuts in the overrun. Oh man. Cue the Daft Punk, man. We're going around the world. Non-standard moves. All the following are not standard moves: climb, pivot, reverse, and strafe. These moves each have a separate rules entry describing how they are performed.
I would have. That is kind of similar, I think, for like the cumbersome rules. Because like in the last edition, you could pivot and not trigger cumbersome because that wasn't technically a standard move. However, move actions and standard moves are slightly different now, so which we'll get into that in a moment, I believe. So,
yep. Another big thing about vehicles, you can just move through them now.
Yeah, I did that last night. It was great. I was like, I can just walk through the bus now because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really great for you too. Use it as line of sight blocker, and then just when you're ready, walk them across and do your shot.
Yep.
But yeah, unfortunately, that means the enemy can also just walk through them as well.
Yeah.
But you can still do a little bit of path blocking if you kind of measure out where they might roughly land with their move and just kind of at least make them cohere backwards instead of forwards. You can still do a bit of body blocking with your big vehicles that way. Yeah. Not too much going on there. Other than that, troopers can move through enemy troopers, right?
Yep. You can move through anything now, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Moving into melee. I'm not seeing withdrawals. The big change here.
Yeah, I think withdrawal is the big one. I don't think anything changed. Withdraw, it just requires one action now, and you reduce your speed to
one.
One still. Yep.
And then you cannot take a standby or attack action after you have done a withdraw in the same activation.
Or if you attack or take a standby, you cannot withdraw with your second action.
Right.
So you can't attack and then withdraw, or vice versa.
I also don't think you can steady or relentless or charge off it there.
Yeah.
Creature troopers
if you're
still
a creature
can.
trooper, you could still relentless, like Tons can.
Yeah.
But
it's not anything that has those keywords.
Right, because those are free attacks and it just says attack, so
I guess I'll get into this now. Withdrawing is still technically a move action, so it does trigger tactical, agile keywords that require move actions. Basically, a move action, you perform a move action to do a standard move. So you have to do one to get the other. So there's a lot of things that provide you with standard moves, like force push or no time for sorrows, stuff like that. Scout is a move action, so you get all of your that is not a standard move. So that there's just a key difference there to keep in mind.
I see what you're saying.
Move actions versus standard moves. Standard moves do not trigger tactical, agile, stuff like that, but move actions do. So, big
standard
FAQ
move
forum.
is the moving part.
Yep.
Which is typically triggered by a move action, but
Correct.
there are some things that just give you the move.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Very good. Oh boy. Are we getting into attack timing? Okay.
It's happening.
I feel like this is where all the TO calls happen.
Yes.
Quite a bit lately.
I want to print this off and staple it to everyone's forehead so they know, so they remember.
Yes. So declaring and determining cover, we are all pretty used to that. But so basically, you roll your attack dice, convert your surges, and then you apply dodge and cover. So part A of that, determine number of obscured miniatures.
Mm-hmm.
So determine the cover based on that. You roll your cover pool before any further steps. And then you remove attack dice for the cover that you rolled. Then you do your dodges.
Yep.
And then after all that, then you modify your attack dice.
Mhm.
So at this point, is this when you're impacting, right? Things
Yes.
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Or you're using marksman.
Yes.
Okay.
I think this is when Guardian comes in. During modify attack dice.
Okay.
Yes. There's a handful of keywords that trigger during the modify attack dice step. That would be after covers and dodges, but cover come first. So make
Yeah.
sure you roll your cover saves because you may not have to use your dodges.
It's actually bugging me now that I see it. They should change it to apply cover and dodge now instead of apply dodge and cover. That would make it
I
easier
think
to
that's the most confusing thing because cover comes first and then you dodge.
you spend your
And
dodges.
it's alphabetical. Even marksman is happening after dodges.
Yes.
Yes.
And cover?
Yes.
So you're just making them crits then to make them what?
Hang on, I'm looking it up. Because you're right. That
Surely,
doesn't sound
surely
right.
that does not sound right.
Oh, you know what? I think it.
After converting attack surges during the convert attack
it's
surge
convert
step,
attack
that is
surges.
marksman.
Okay, so marksman
That is
happens
marksman.
during the convert attack surge
Yeah.
step. So that makes
So
sense.
that is before cover
Before
and
you even
dodges
do
is
cover
applied.
rules.
Okay, and I'm assuming that's when the ram keyword takes place as well.
Probably.
Ram.
Yeah, I think
That is what you modify attack dice. During the modify attack dice step, it may change X
okay.
results
So
into crits.
that's a big deal then because
that's-
that's after dodges.
So it is after dodges and cover. So that's worse. Wow.
Well, I mean, you're still turning
Rams it's in
you're still turning
melee.
blanks.
That's true.
So cover doesn't matter, but dodges.
Dodges do, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're still turning blanks into hits. Okay, so that's still fine. That's still fine.
Right, yeah, because you can't. I guess you can't.
Yeah, because you can't dodge a blank,
miss.
so-
Yeah,
Let's see. Guardian is.
but I guess it would come into play in preventing, like, if they rolled all hits, you could dodge those away before they got to upgrade them to crits.
Guardian is modify attack dice step. So that is
Yeah.
after cover and dodges
Okay.
for Guardian. So you cover, dodge, and then you Guardian. Bang, bang, bang. Anything else that we.
No,
think
there's just a lot of nuance here, and once all the keywords hit the table with this stuff, that's where all the questions are coming in. I feel
Yeah.
like, but
Yep.
definitely have this printed off or quick access just to pull it up, and it'll definitely help out.
Yep.
Talking about the notch-based trooper silhouette, nothing really that different there. Backup. Big keyword
I need to staple this to my forehead.
added here. Are we going too far?
Nope.
No. Okay, we're still good. Okay. So backup, a trooper unit with the commander or operative rank benefits from backup if it has at half range and line of sight to the unit leader of a unit that provides backup. A unit must meet the following requirements to provide backup. The unit has the core rank. The unit is a trooper unit. The unit does not have a number of suppression tokens equal to or greater than its courage. When a unit that is benefiting from backup is attacked by a ranged attack and the attacking unit's unit leader is beyond 2 of it, it may cancel up to 2 hit results during the modify attack dice step of the sequence. This feels really OP at first glance, but the way the game's played now so close, I feel like it doesn't actually come up too often. It definitely can, but it definitely just helps with like letting your important pieces actually get in the fight before they get shot and blown off the field.
I don't even think, and it may part of it just because I've forgotten about this keyword, but I don't think I've ever used it in any of my games so far because everything's just within Rage 2 so quickly. And I have so many units that want to be in range too. So, and then all my important pieces are far behind the lines. So,
Also, that half range is like closer than you think sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah.
They really got to be parked in, and it's funny because you're not doing it as often. All the keywords where you had to keep your units closer all got kind of extended to range 2 now, so
Yeah.
the clumping's not happening as often.
Exactly.
Some other quick notes about backup. There are other units that can do it. Units that have Guardian that aren't core ranks can do it, but they cannot benefit from it. So like Chewie, he can't get backup, but he can give it.
Obi.
Yep. Retinue units also can give backup.
Yep.
And also they have to be the same affiliation. So
Yep.
Mercenary Corps cannot give it, or mercenary operatives can't benefit from having stormtroopers around or something.
Yep.
Yeah, and entourage is the other keyword.
Entourage.
Oh, entourage is it too?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, basically retinue and entourage, basically, I think they say ignore the core rank requirement.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. That makes sense. I like it.
Very good.
I like it a lot.
That's pretty much the same.
Yeah, this is when you apply the number 1, I think is the biggest one. Determine the number of obscured models. You have to be within a half range.
Yeah,
for applying
terrain.
Yeah, so like it's weird because it's based on per miniature. So there's like 2 checks. So to get cover, the miniature has to be obscured, and that miniature has to be within a half range. And then if you have more than half, or at least half, of the miniatures within half range and obscured of a piece of terrain, then you get the cover, whatever you discussed.
And the half benefits the defender, right? So if you have 3 guys in cover, they're getting the cover.
Yeah.
Even if they have 3 guys out.
Yeah.
The 50% benefits the defender, not the attacker.
Yeah. So it's not more than 50 anymore. It's just a flat 50 for the defender. And of course, if you have light cover, you roll white dice and you're looking for hits. And then if you have heavy cover, you roll white dice and you're looking for paint, just like rally rolls. So
I like this change a lot, but I think I would have liked it even more with the old cover of just taking 2 off, because I feel like this change alone made it to where you can get open shots.
I agree. I think
a lot more often.
One or the other, they went too extreme with this. I think one or the other would have been fine. Like if we had cover rolls, but you could still get cover the old way, they still would have got the same amount of spike. And then vice versa, if you still had light and heavy cover, but you had to be within a half range of more than half your model. Yeah, I 100% agree. 100%.
Yeah.
And then you could also pair it with, there has to be at least X amount of like cover terrain pieces on the table and X amount of heavy cover pieces of terrain on the table to kind of balance out that this is just a flat 2 block. So, I don't know.
Stop highlighting things. Okay. No, not you. The PDF. Applying cover.
Kind of just went over that.
Okay. Yep. We did. And then removing miniatures in melee. You noted something here, Mitchem, about the cohering.
Yes. There's a Reddit post that I saw today that I actually answered, and I read an FAQ. Now granted that was about force push, but it is important to note here that so after a melee is resolved, the attacking unit must cohere his units first. So if I'm attacking Randy's pikes with my fleet troopers and I kill 3 guys, and that opens up space for more of my fleet troopers to move in that weren't previously in base-to-base contact, I move as many guys I can into base-to-base with the pikes. And then, and only then, does Randy, if there's still pikes that are out of base-to-base with my fleets, then he comes into me. Mm-hmm. So the attacker always coheres first, and then the defender. I think that's just like the basic. That's the 2 steps there.
And I'm not sure how different that is from how it used to be, but having it clearly defined might be the main difference.
Sure. The ruling that it was more about movement. It was someone was asking a question about force push and how to get into melee, and I found a forum ruling, and it was so force push. The opponent with force push moves the enemy trooper units leader, range 1, and then it coheres said enemy unit around that unit leader that was just moved. The important distinction here is you cannot cohere into melee. You must move into melee. So if I move a pike unit leader and then cohere to half range, I can't put one of your cohered pikes into range of Anakin and then swing with Anakin. I would still have to either put the pike unit leader in base to base with Anakin or move Anakin into melee. So that was like the big question that I saw and answered. So, or found on the forum post to help clear that up. So I thought I'd share with you guys.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty similar to that you couldn't cohere someone into melee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the post I found was an older post, I think from April, and that hasn't changed. And now, since there aren't really objective tokens to be holding on the battlefield, it like when you kill a unit and dropping and then cohering, like that whole confusion and like that big old step, like that kind of went away.
Yeah. I feel like the main thing is just what spacing is going to be available to bring more units into melee.
Yeah.
And who's determining that based on
and it always starts with the attacker or the player that has priority. In this case, it would be the attacker. So that's just important. The attacker has first. They do everything first, and then the defender. So
they got dips.
Yep.
Very cool. Standby tokens. Big change here on standby, I believe, is that you can still move like normal, but you can only attack the unit that triggered the standby.
Mm-hmm. It is a free move action, so you do get all your stuff, like tactical and agile and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no more like, oh, your squad just got in range 2 of me, I'm going to shoot Anakin or whatever. You have to shoot at the unit that triggered, which honestly is what standby should have been in the beginning. I think it makes it a lot worse. Like I don't know if I've standbyed at all since the new rules, because you either want to get into position.
Are your Mark IIs not getting them for free?
Am I playing Mark IIs? I'm not playing Mark IIs. That's just free victory points for my opponent. So.
Oh, who cares about victory points, right?
Sure, it's all about kill points. You're right.
I have seen some questions involved with, there's relentless keywords, standbys interrupting.
Yeah, all that's still the same.
Yeah.
So if Vader moves in to a unit, the standby would interrupt his relentless, but you can't shoot Vader.
Well, I think here's the situation: they were moving and going to relentless, but off of a standby. But then another unit did a standby on theirs, and they move into to melee with them. Can they relentless melee the unit that moved into them? I don't think they can, because their standby was triggered off a different unit.
Oh,
right.
I see.
Yeah, I don't think they could change targets.
I mean, again, these are situations.
You know
that
what?
Are very,
to use a magic term here, there's a stack, Randy, and they just pile on top of each other, and they happen in the order that they occurred. So,
and at instant speed, I quit. Cool. End phase, just changing where the score VPs happen, and basically you're removing suppression after.
Yep.
You check score.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good change.
That is the main change there. Definitely makes suppression matter more.
Yeah, let's say definitely.
Yeah. One of that one secondary would be extremely hard to ever score if it was still the other way around.
Oh yeah.
Just talking about removing your advantage tokens and from the pass pool here. And this is the last one we're going to get into for this episode.
Yeah, promoting now happens at the end step, right? Is that what that's saying?
Yeah, I think it's...
Has it always been the
I
end
think it
step?
did before. Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's just the
Finland,
timing
yeah.
is slightly different.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then, fifth round of the game.
Yeah, you would promote after you score, so you can't get courage bubbles if you lose your commander. Is
Right.
pretty sure what that's. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yep. That's it.
All right, cool. Again, a very technical talk, so I hope you stuck with us. Man, what was your guys' like big surprise or highlight? For me, it was definitely the cohering out of line of sight.
Yeah, the line of sight.
That line of sight.
That's
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Big.
So we're gonna be those gotcha guys next tournament. I don't think you can do that. If you look at page 32, I heard on the X&1 cast that you can't do that.
Yeah, I think just going over these all again and just kind of having that knowledge, and honestly looking back at my game I played with Matt last night, I was like, oh, there's a couple things that we didn't do 100% correct. And I mean, we're not trying to be gotcha guys. I mean, we still want to have fun. I mean, obviously we go X&1, so I mean, we don't want to be the sweaty guys out there, but it's still nice to, you could still teach your opponent the rules if they don't know them in a nice way. And that's kind of what we want to come at it as, like, hey, by the way, this is actually how it's done. It's fine right now, but just for future. So don't flame us in the comments for telling you how to gotcha everybody at your next tournament or anything. So, because that's the last thing we want to do.
Absolutely.
That's a good way to go X and O, but not have any friends. So,
oh, the X and O were the friends we made along the
way, or the enemies you crushed in between.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Okay. Well, cool. Let's get into some shout outs here. Is there with the there's the Edmund Unplugged tournament on the 28th. This episode should come out before then. So if you happen to be in the area or up for a little car ride, you should definitely come down and compete in that. Mitchem will be there.
I will.
Go X&1. There will be some POIs. I hope you got them from Matt.
I did. They're on my desk. Yep.
Okay.
I have 3 to the best X&1 player. I think there's going to be.
Oh, well, give one to each X&1. They got to come to multiple tournaments to collect the full set.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There'll probably be a lot of X&1s, but I will give them to the top 3. There will be lots of prize support, painting. I think we're going to bring back something that hasn't been at EU in a while. So we're kind of revamp it. So looking forward to that.
And what is that? Don't bury the lead.
Well, you got to come and find out. You got to sign up and find out, Randy.
Okay. All right.
It's a surprise. It's going to be awesome, though.
It's a surprise.
Ooh.
Like it.
I think we have 16 people signed up so far. So, I mean, help us get to 20. We'd love to have 20 people. So, yeah.
LVOI points qualifier?
Yep. LVOI points qualify. I don't know if it's a full qualifier because we still had that one pretty recently. So,
but you're getting points at least.
Definitely a points qualifier. Come hang out and play some games. Play some 260 with us. So
absolutely.
Preston will be there too. Preston and I will both be there.
Yeah, I'm signed up.
Yeah, he's signed up.
Don't know what I'm bringing, but I'll be there.
Hey, save, big save. So,
let's see. Anything else, Preston? You gonna be streaming some painting at some point?
Nothing currently scheduled, but we'll see.
Let's bully him into it, guys.
Yeah,
let's bully him into streaming some
harassment.
painting. Yeah, content creator harassment.
Yeah, give me people to talk to.
he gets lonely while he paints.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out Jerry's Game Shop on Etsy. He just put up his card sleeves for the primary, secondary, and advantage cards. You can use code X&1 Rocks for 10% off your purchase. So check those out. I think he's rolling out the new card, like 3D printed that unit card. What am I trying to say?
Yeah,
Thingies,
card holders.
card
Unit
holders,
card
yeah,
holders,
with the
yeah.
bigger cards and everything. So make sure you check those out and use code XM1Rocks for 10% off.
And if you're TO, he's got good tournament trophies for 3D printing.
Fantastic tournament trophies. Yep.
And also, if you have an event coming up and you would like for us to mention it on the cast, help get the word about it, definitely shoot us a message and we'd be happy to bring it up and
100%.
let people know about it.
Yeah.
We want everyone to get as many chances to play Legion as they can, for sure. But thank you all for listening, and I hope you all enjoyed it. We'll see you guys later, and just remember, XNO is a line-by-line reading of the CRB away. Later, everyone.